Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we learn how to run our test cases from a test set. Earlier tutorial, we added two manual test cases to a test set. So here in the new test set, we have two manual test cases that we added in earlier tutorial. But before I start the execution, I want to show you different functionality that is available in a test set. So in a test set, the execution grid basically contain these test cases and it shows its type and status if it is run or passed or failed. And in that execution flow, this tab, you can see how it's going to be executed. And the automation tab, basically it is related to if you're running to a automated script, but this is out of the scope for this course, so because we are not running any automated script, so we're going to skip this for now. And then attachment, again, if you want to attach something, you can attach it here. And the link defect, you can also link the defect if you found to this test set. And the history, it will show you the history for this test set. So again, go back to this execution grid. So here a few things I want to tell you before I run this test set. So on the top here, you can see there are two buttons. One is run, another is run test set. So when you select this run, this will run a individual test case from this test set. So right now the first one is register new user. This one is selected. So if you click run, there is another arrow. If you click here, you can see there are further the options available. There is Sprinter. Sprinter is not installed here. So run with the manual runner. So when you select this run, will manual runner. So this will be run only this test case, not the other one. This not this login with an existing user account. Only it will run this register new user. Um, but if you click this run test set, this button, like it will run all the test cases you have in this test set. So and it will follow the order that you have here. So for us, I'm going to click this run test set because I want to run all the test cases I have in this test set. And it will uh, give us the option to execute this test case, then I will have the option to execute the other test case. So let's click this button, run test set. So when you click this, you will have this pop-up window which is basically saying it is going to run it with the manual runner, and I'll say okay. So as you can see, this marker tool application is already here, and we're going to use this application to execute our test cases. So here, before I begin my execution, there's a one more window that which is basically telling us a different information is going to be used for running this tests. So there are these are mandatory fields, and you can see already these are filled out by the quality center itself. And you can see the test run is giving a unique name to this test run, which basically going to use to identify this test run. And some other mandatory information is already provided, and you don't need to modify any information here. So now let's begin the run. So when you click begin run, it will start the run. If you want, at this point you can end this run, but or cancel this run, but we want to continue with this run, so we'll click begin run. So this will give you first it will give you pop up this parameters, because it's giving us this information. These parameters is already provided earlier, so we can use this information to create a new user account. So click OK. Now I have this register new user, this window, which is basically contain those three steps that I have in that test case, and it's giving us this option to execute these steps. So on in this window, this manual runner window, you can see the test case name is here, and there are a few other things to notice here, which is you can see there are options to add or delete steps, but the most important thing is for us is to these two, which is says like pass the selected and fail the selected, which basically pass selected step or it will fail the selected step. And you can also stop the test case at this point, but we will continue. And so first step here in the description and expected this to fill that we also provided this information when we are creating this test case. So you can see the description is a navigate to this page, new tools page. So we already here, we navigated here, and this web application loads so successfully. So for demonstration purpose, let's open this page again, and as you can see this one is successfully loaded. And so this is the expected result, which is the web application loads successfully. And there is another you can see the box here, which is basically here you will provide the information what you actually see here, what you expected, and here you provide what you will actually see. So the most of the times what you can do, like you expected this, and if you see this, you can basically you can copy this information. You can just do Control C, and you can paste this information here. And there are many occasions you'll see different teams what they will do. They will not provide you any actual any information here, because in this way you can save your time. But you will have the agreement like this, like if it is expect, if you see this your expected result in your testing, basically you will just keep it blank, and when you will only provide information when it is failed. But it depends on your team, with the team you are working, what you agreed with, you can provide the information accordingly. So for our case, we see this space is loaded successfully, so we will click this pass selected. So this step is passed. You can see the status was updated to no run to passed, and then now it's automatically moved to second step. As you can see, just click the register link, and the expect is that the new user registration page opens successfully. So let's go to this register link, click this, and you can see the register page is open successfully. So what we'll do, we'll pass this step as well. And again, as I told you, I didn't provide any information here, so basically as means it's what is expected. I see it here, and if you want, you can also just copy and paste information here. And then the last step is you will provide mandatory information to create the new user account and click submit button. And we already know the parameters we're going to use. So this is test user, and then we will provide the test user 123, again same test user 123. Then here we will click the submit button. So now you can see you get the confirmation message, and this is saying the test user account is created. So this step is says the new user account is created successfully with the confirmation message. So we have this account created with the confirmation message. So this is what happened, and then we'll select it as a pass. So this way we completed all these steps, and so this test is now complete for this test case, and now you can um, stop it, or you can just close this window. So for us, we'll stop this. So after you click the end button for that previous test, this new test window is open. So which is basically is the similar window you saw earlier for the register new user account, but this one is for login with an existing user account. So you can see already this information already provided here by the quality center. So what basically you have to do, you have to click begin run, and this will give you this test execution window where you can execute those steps like earlier. Here you can see we have the first step is to we have to browse this page. So if you go back and to this Mercury page, let's try to open this page again, and you can see it is loaded successfully. So we'll pass this step. So before doing that, I want to show you one more option here, which is there's an option called pass all, or here the fail all. So by using these option pass all, basically sometimes the people do they execute all the steps, and then if all pass, then just go here and select pass all. This way they can quickly finish the execution. And as I told you earlier, like if you have agreement with your team, you don't need to provide this information here in actual works. So this way you can quickly finish your execution. So anyways, for our for this test, we going, as we see this page is loaded successfully, we'll select pass selected. So this one is passed, and the next step is to click the sign on link, and the sign on page should open successfully. So let's click the sign on, and sign on page is open successfully. So this step is passed again, and the next step is provide an existing username and password and click the submit button, and the user successfully logged in into the system. So as we know, we already created the test user account, and the password is test user 123. So now when you click the submit button, this it should log in. So when you click the submit button, we can see we are not logging in, so that means the system has a problem. So now we identify a problem in the system because we're supposed to log in and we can't log in. So what we will do, we'll fail this step. So this step is failed. So in the actual, you can write down the user can't log in to the system. You can say like sign on page loaded. So this way, like you say, user can log in and sign on page is loaded. So that means the sign on page, same page is loaded here. So sometimes you can take screenshots and then you can attach it with this. So but for now, as you can see, this execution is complete and our last step is failed. So let's end this run. So now our run is completed. So as you when you go back to test lab, you can see in the new test set, you can see our these two test cases is executed, and one is passed and other is failed. So with this we come to the end of this tutorial. So we in this tutorial we learned how to execute our test cases from a test set using the manual runner. And next tutorial we will see how we can analyze your test run. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.